Evening, guys. Wondering why I've got these figures right in front of me. I'll bet you're wondering. I'll bet you're wondering why I got many of these figures out in front of me. Well, I can assure you there's lots to discuss today. Now, Thursday, our friends that hold my DualShock have managed to set a record going over more than 4 hours long on their video live stream, which isn't usually normal for most YouTubers unless you're playing very long video games. But hey, you've got Skywalker the Jedi and Leon to thank for that, for keeping the conversations going. Man, oh man, it was quite an impressive record. Greatest record of YouTube live stream book recording I ever seen. Now, I hope I'm still able to post stuff. Well, while I am confident that I'll be back on their live stream again Monday, one thing has come up to me. One thing has been troubling me lately, and it has to do with one of the YouTubers who were in the chat that seemed to have, made me feel paranoid and stuff. His name is Integrity 101. He's one of Skywalker the Jedi's followers. Clearly, I wanted to know why I was shadow banned from Skywalker the Jedi's live stream. And then Integrity 101 comes along to threatens to have me banned. Well, I was trying to tell him to cool it, but wow. Can't tell if he was just messing with me or if he was somehow offended, but believe me, Integrity 101, I wasn't trying to get on your case. I was just asking a specific question, and trust me, we don't always agree on having the same thing. Heck, even on the Snyderverse, you and some of your friends there on Sky's live stream don't usually agree with the idea of having more included in Zack's live-action cinematic works for DC. And what I was referring to in the chat was the idea that Zack should use the opportunity to add more villains to Lex Luthor's Legion of Doom, like Brainiac, and have more members of the Justice League included, like Green Lantern, as well as Atom, as well as Ryan Choi, the Atom, who we've seen in Zack's cut of Justice League. Some fans, man, heck, you may think I should be banned, but believe me, Integrity 101, if I was a troll, I would not be helpful to Peter, Katie, and Andy when I notified them straight away that their video from Monday was flagged by NBC Universal for certain copyright claims. That left me worried, so I had to inform them right away on Twitter so they know to look into it. And thank God they got it fixed. Trust me, they're good people. They're too good to be taken down over a copyright strike or three. So I'm sure. Besides, it's fun hanging out in the live stream chats, having people read your comments. It feels a lot like group therapy when you have something to share with others. Heck, even Parker is doing his best to be polite, just like me. And and Sky, if you're watching this, I also like to discuss with you on the idea of having Silver Banshee included in Zack's Man of Steel 2 live-action film, with Superman, Supergirl going head-to-head with Brainiac, and having her included in the mix as well, but not having Livewire shoehorned in, because well, I don't want Livewire in there because I like Silver Banshee to be her own thing. Besides, if it has to do with the crossover between Supergirl and the Flash that aired days after the release of Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, I understand, but that would just involve more rehashing, and believe me, many fans, including myself, are getting sick of all the rehashes and all the constant recycling of characters from 1978 and before, as well as all the retconning. And there's also a reason to why I suggested that people buy comics like these, revolving around characters like Supergirl and Silver Banshee. And it's a good thing I did pick it up because it's essential to know. You've got to understand the nature of each characters and who they are and how they came to be and whether they are who they actually are shown to be. Now, take a look. You see this right here? That's Silver Banshee holding on to Supergirl with Tear Life, confessing that she never wanted to be who she is, just before she was dragged back down to hell for escaping. Trust me, this is the Siobhan McDougall version of the character, who suffered who lost a lot of her. She lost her life of being a regular person because of how she was set up by the crone and her family. Also, and there's a good reason, Sky, to why I suggest we include her into the mix, and it does revolve around the dawn of what happened in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Trust me, it would help act as a response to the fate of Jimmy Olsen if the Snyderverse were to continue untampered with. Either that or in a live action universe parallel to the Snyderverse that will reactivate it and have these characters right here, Silver Banshee, Superman, Supergirl, and Brainiac, included in live action with proper actors that look like the characters cast as them. Now, take a look at this. See this right here? Now, this is kind of crazy of what DC did included, but hey, it gives us an idea on who should be included in future Superman projects going forward in the DCEU. Now, and it's also why you need to have the comics. It's precisely why you need the comics to do great live action movies, because without them, you ain't got anything to give us other than same old stuff from before that we've already seen before. And we want to get past, and we want to put an end to all the goddamn rehashing and all the goddamn recycling of characters all the time from the old days. Start moving on, and there's no reason to keep retconning so much. And I don't want them undoing like any of the outcomes in Man of Steel. I want it to be left the way it is. Now, I also like to go over why I have these two characters, Spider-Man and Doc Ock, included in this video you see here tonight. And the answer is simple. Zack said Zack says that Tobey Maguire is his favorite Spider-Man, and Spider-Man 2 is his favorite film, which features Spider-Man going head-to-head with Doc Ock. Yeah. And I bet it's probably where he got the idea of doing slow-mos for his movies from in the first place, when you got this. Because Spider-Man, the way Sam Raimi pulled it off with him, and the scenes of him using his spider sense to sense danger, it really seemed, it was cool and impressive, and it definitely involved a lot of slow-mo. There was definitely a lot of slow-mo in those movies. And the elements, man, the energy, the inertia, the nostalgia back then, so compelling and so incredible. So epic that you'll never forget just how great films were back then before the 2010s and moving on. Just so you know, it's always important to ask people of why they stand by the words they use and say when they make a stand on certain things. And just like we should be asking some of those who are not calling out the studios for what they've done on why they are refusing to blame them for what Cavill go through and are just blaming it on the wrong people. That's what we should be asking people like Culture Casino, including those like Corey Coleman from Double Toasted and Jody's Corner, who I like to nickname Jody's Rehash, since he doesn't seem to give a damn about rehashes. Which, heck. And there are also other great villains that need to be brought onto the big screen along with Brainiac, and that's also Metallo. Someone that Bryan Singer should have included in Superman Returns to make the film with Lex Luthor in it more interesting and not a complete boring rehash of the old movie back in 1978, which we've really got to start moving away from. Trust me, guys, it wastes people's time all these years of WB constantly gatekeeping and getting in the way of having Superman face off against Brainiac in a live-action movie for the first time has been a huge issue with the studio. And David Goyer pointed it out. It has serious management problems. So terrible. Bad policy enforcement and so much more that needs to be called out. Now, Andy, Peter, and Katie, I do like to congratulate you on Thursday's live stream, it says you've reached over 4 hours, 21 minutes, and 59 seconds of a video of live stream time. Very good. That is very great. Very good job. You should also consider expanding your base and your channel further and throughout social media too. Surely you may not be willing to use Facebook, understanding how things operate there. And yeah, I don't blame you. Especially when we got some members of Zack Snyder's fan pages acting rogue on us, who are instantly wanting to just get the whole vision of Zack's done and over with in animation, when they should know better. We deserve better. We want live action films because we want to see Brainiac take on Superman and Supergirl in live action for the first time. That's been long held back from us by the studios. And we would like to see Silver Banshee in it too, because she would help make the story interesting, as of starting off as an enemy to them and maybe later as an anti-hero and a situational ally to the Cousins of Steel. That is, of course, by having her use the Phantom Zone. of course. And of course, I gotta give it credit to the people who designed the characters' artwork from here in this book. Because here they say that Siobhan got her powers from the Phantom Zone. And that's actually a good thing, because we are going to need that if we are to help her get past the censorship at the studios in Hollywood today as well as helping get Brainiac into the live action movies in a script with both, as well as getting Brainiac and the live action movie script in past the goddamn censorship that's been holding him back since the early 80s. It's got to end there, guys. Trust me, we have to succeed in getting a live action Superman movie with Superman and Brainiac taking each other on in a fight in live action, along with Supergirl and Silver Banshee in it, done and released in the 2030s. Trust me, we don't want to wait. We don't want to wait till the end of time at all, or until all of us are dead. We want it to be done sooner. And we do need to fight back for actual creative freedom, because without it, you're doomed with more generic stuff that's coming out of AI and stuff, as we've seen today from many of the projects that was being developed by these writers at the union whose leading members have compromised the leadership. Heck. Also, I did, since it's 7 o'clock already right now, I also like you guys to know that I enjoy watching people's reaction to playing as Venom in the Spider-Man 2 gameplay because of how fun it is watching them grow excited, rampaging through the inside of Oscorp and out on Times Square as Venom, a big hulking black monster. Yeah, and it featured a lot that you wouldn't expect in a rated T for teen game. That really got people fired up. Even Tyrone Magnus loved it. Loved playing as Venom. Yeah, he was such a nut. Oh, and as for Silver Banshee, with creativity, we would not just find a way to get Brainiac and Superman to work comic accurately in live action movies with Supergirl and Silver Banshee, but also by using comics from the New Earth era and the New 52, including the Dawn of Justice comics. We'd be able to use story elements from them to help contribute to the movie and try to rework their origins and backstories as much as possible. Now, I also heard that season 2 of Hawkeye was getting greenlit, and that Trickshot would be included as the lead villain. And sometimes projects can't stay canceled at all, which is disappointing sometimes, but also good. Ah, here we are. Marvel. Sorry it took so long to get back. Lastly, I'd like to get you guys to know that the villain for Venom 3 has been teased through some of the merchandise and promos that we've been getting recently. Now, looking through some of these comics that came out in the 90s, Venom had over 6 spawns so far. Right here is Scream. Scream right here. She's the third symbiote that was introduced in the Marvel Comics. Now, whether we'll be seeing her in Venom 3, The Last Dance this October or not, played by Juno Temple, we'll find out. Wow. Just wow. Man, there's a lot. Heck, when Mary Jane was man, this version of Scream, sheesh, that is kind of ugly. But I do gotta give Insomniac points for their treatment of the character, making her look so much better looking and more beautiful than this one. Gee, heck. Now, here we are. The villain for the upcoming third Venom movie is expected to be the green one, known as Lasher. This one, who kind of looks a lot like Spider-Man, but with whips and tentacles on his back, just like Doc Ock, and that are shaped like Scorpion. Yeah. 6 spawns is the number. Yeah. Man, oh man. Wow. Carnage was his first spawn. Man, Man, they sure put up one heck of a fight in these comics. The green one is Lasher. Lasher is rumored to be the villain for the third Venom movie, so be sure to see it this fall. Heck, I'd like to see if we'll see even more symbiotes then. Not sure how, but hey, I did enjoy Venom Let There Be Carnage. Just that I wish the movie was longer at its actual 2-hour mark and not so short like it was rushed. Anyway, the 90s had the best to offer in life. So much greatness back then. Now, heck, and if we ever do get Brainiac, he would wear a hat. Now, well, anyway, and we also like to see his ship as well. So much needs to be done, my fellow Snyder fans and fellow DC fans and fellow YouTube pop culture fans. Keep up the good work. And be safe out there.